My, oh, you went on the potty pad. What a good dude. Where go, nigga? Abrego, nigga. Oh. Let go my Abrego. Let go my Abrego. Did he get a woman prego? Ooh, what a saint. So people think that's, I guess the left thinks, because you can stick a penis into a vagina, that makes you a saint or something like that. Well, I can stick my dick into a vagina too. It doesn't make me a saint. It just makes that I can put a penis into a vagina. That's all it is. Yeah. Wow. Oh, Lego my Abrego. Oh. MS-13 gang member? Gangbanger. You're going to El Salvador. Yeah. You go to the Seacot cage. Yeah. You got to share one cell, one big ass cell with like an animal, like you're in the Holocaust. Yeah. You got to share a cell in Seacot in San Salvador, in El Salvador. With all the other gangbangers and MS-13, the drug cartel gangbangers. All the gangbangers get to hang out together. Yeah. I know they got tattoo artists. I guess, are you taking your tattoos to your grave? I guess so. It won't really matter much when you're all dead. You know, if you got tattoos. Yeah, I see the pretty girls. Unfortunately, the trash look became popular with women. Women used to look clean. Man, like back in the 50s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. Maybe not so much the 1960s, but women used to look fucking clean. Nice, clean, attractive. And then I started to notice this thing in the 21st century. Women decorating themselves with fucking tattoos and desecrating their bodies. I started to notice women that are really attractive, nice tits, really pretty, really nice hair, really good looking girls. I started to notice they started to desecrate their bodies. Not all the girls did that though. There were some girls, especially the Shannons, that kept their shit looking clean, kept it looking tight. Okay. So a lot of girls kept it looking fresh. They made it beautiful. They looked like goddesses. They kept it good. But a lot of girls were trendy and they wanted to look like trash, so they got a lot of piercings, a lot of tats. So what you had is a lot of girls got trashed out. Not all the girls got trashed out. Now, the girls that didn't get trashed out, they became mothers and they had like 2 or 3, 5 kids because the men were like, I don't want a trashy girl. So they picked the really clean looking chicks, obviously. So the guys with money that survived the economic recession in 2008, they were like, okay, if you want my money, you want access to my money and power, you got to look clean. You got to look like a hot bitch because I'm not giving you my dick and my future children if you look like a fucking shit, right? So So I noticed a lot of these liberal girls from Maryland, Connecticut, New York, blah blah blah, from the Biden world, right? The people, the leftists from California, Oregon, Washington State, they all came to Texas because where they came from, their leftist cities, Chicago, their Obama-run cities, sucked dick. So they all came here. Obviously. So I'm looking for a Texan in Texas And man, it's hard because there's a guy from Nepal, there's a guy from Pakistan, there's Apu, there's fucking, you know, people from Honduras, there's people from fucking wherever, China. I'm like, can I find a fucking Texan in Texas? It's getting hard these days, right? Especially in the big city. It's like, Jesus Christ. Can I find a Louisianian in Louisiana? I mean, Jesus Christ. Can I find an Englishman in England? What the fuck? Can I find somebody French in France? I mean, you know, can I find somebody Russian in Russia? I mean, what the fuck is this?
President Trump was asked about Judge Boasberg's ruling that officials would be held in criminal
So I go to work with these girls from Connecticut and California and fucking Oregon and shit, and they have tats all over their arms. They look like it's like the Sistine Chapel on their arms. I'm like, why did you desecrated your fucking body with all this shit? Yeah, they'll find a tat daddy or something like that. You know, some motorcycle meathead motherfucker or whatever to fuck. But I'm saying like. So it must have been, you know who I'm going to blame for this? I'm not going to blame Marilyn Manson. I'm going to blame Kat Von D or whatever her name was. Kat Von D. That's who I'm blaming for this trash shit. And all the girls growing up, how could I be edgy and trendy? I need to get tattoos all over my body. That's how I can rebel against the system. Yeah. It's Kat Von D. That's it. Greta Von Teese or whatever the fuck her name is. That's who fucked up the 21st century girls. That's what stopped the women from looking fucking tight and fucking clean and fucking nice. You know, like Linda Carter, like your grandma, like fucking tits and just fucking beautiful and long flowing hair and just fucking like goddesses. That's who fucked it up. Yeah, Don. No. Let's have a dietary Coke, Don. We gotta take another pill or whatever. The deal with China. Here's my Xi Jinping right here. Xi Jinping dong. My fucking shit right there. You know what Trump should do? He could go, you know what I think of Xi Jinping and the Chinese Communist Party? Ching ching tong 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 tong. Ching kind of tong tong ching tong tong. He should just do that. Alright. Sorry. Oh, did you have fresh chihuahua? I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry about making noise at that. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Let me turn down the 2-inch. Yeah. I know your wolves are sensitive to the sound, though. Yeah. Oh, baby, but no. Says so. Shizu. I'm sorry, you're sensitive to the noisy baby. Oh, I know, baby people. Me love food. You're so pretty, woman. Oh, Tula. Are you stealing Tula's food? Yeah. You're stealing our food again? Oh, baby. You have a lot of balls, Blanky. Yeah. Oh! Hey! Here! Oh! Hey, hold up! Tula! 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 Why do you attack Bella? She's an old dog. Tula, very rambunctious pup. So what happens, a lot of babies aren't being born because a guy sees a woman and he has a job and a car and he's like, oh, I really like that Delilah chick, but man, she has fucking tats all over her fucking arms like a painting. It's like, why does she desecrate her fucking whole body? And to get the pussy and the titty, I'm gonna have to look at this shit? Fuck that, I'd rather jack off for the rest of my life. I'd rather just play with my purple penis sperm ding dong than fuck with Delilah, because Delilah looks like fucking trash. Because the trash look got popular in the early 21st century, 2010s or whatever. That's why bitches look nasty now. They look like fucking slut hoes. Now, not all beautiful women fell for the shit, though. Fell for the bullshit. Some women stayed trad. Some women stayed clean and looking attractive because that's naturally what they wanted to do. Yeah. Lego my Abrego. No, that was the waffle. It was Lego my Ego. Lego my Abrego? Oh, he got woman 3 times prego. Oh, what a man. What a man. What a mighty good man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. You like that? Is that Bella de Babo? What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Bust his nut in a veg at least 3 times. To reload that son of a bitch, you got to be real good, huh? Reload your penis that much. Even Bezos is like, how did you reload your penis that much? He's like, I shot 6 women into space with my big penis rocket. I want to show the aliens that there's one thing that mankind is obsessed with. It's penis. It's phallic symbols. It's dicks. If there's one thing that mankind is really obsessed with, it's dicks. You know? So if aliens saw these big penis-shaped dick rockets flying into space, they must think, man, the human race, they're all right, but they really had this obsession with penis. That's what probably aliens think, right, if they actually saw this shit. If they rewound the tape. So, if aliens were looking at tape from Earth of people going into space, they must think, well, I think the human race is gay. They must think, I think humanity is homosexual. That at least that's probably what alien species think of us. If they just look at the space tape. The aliens, if they're sentient species out there, they must be like, This is a gay fucking race. Homosexual motherfuckers. Did Jeff Bezos design his Blue Origin rockets to look like fucking my dick? Is what I'm saying. It looks like dick. I'm no expert on penis design. I have a penis. It looks like a penis. Yeah. I guess the hardest thing is what if you win, huh? What do you do then? What's the next challenge? We men just love challenges. So what happens then? You win the Super Bowl. You get the girl. You get whatever you dream of. And then what? So what happens if you win $1 billion on the lottery? What happens then? What's the next phase then? I don't know. Maybe I make an album. I make a musical. Maybe if I have $1 billion, I just make a record. I just do a song. I do a songscape or something. Maybe I don't give up just because I succeed. Maybe I proceed after that to inspire the next people or the next generation to keep fighting. So maybe I don't give up. Maybe I just proceed to the next mission, whatever that is. So whatever it looks like. Maybe I grab hold, Maybe I continue on the next thing. Maybe I just can flow on the continuum. So but at the end of the day, are you like Jesus Christ? Are you willing to die on a cross for what you believe in? Whether it's freedom of speech, whether it's for Trump, whether it's for the United States of America, are you willing to die and bleed? Are you willing to suffer for what you love? If you're willing to do that, then you're a real person. Then you're ready. Then you've already made it. If not, you're just a coward. No, I met people from D.C., Washington, D.C., and Maryland before, in Virginia. This Abrego guy isn't a fucking Maryland man. He's an illegal alien who crossed over in 2011. I guess if you're an illegal alien, you can jerk off into a woman's pussy. You can just find a hole and go. I guess maybe it takes a little bit more finesse. Maybe you need to say, before you pick up a woman, you say, have a job. I got some money. I got a car. Maybe some bitches ain't even impressed with that, right? Come on, it's the modern world. They're like, so the modern woman's like, well, there's billionaires and millionaires. You're not one of those. So fuck yeah. Go fuck yourself, right? So fuck bitches, dude. It's bullshit. Fuck hoes. I don't give a shit about that, don't. Farted in your face, don't. Yeah, because I'm going to take a shit on your face, don't. Yeah. But Want a little bit of love. Okay. Everybody wants that. Everybody's after the who wants, who needs, who wants the honey. Let me know. Who wants, who needs that honey. Like the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan. I like that one. I like that song. Dun, 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 dun. Who wants, who needs the honey? I like when he goes, let me know. Is it from Siamese Dream? Yeah, I didn't buy all the Smashing Pumpkins records. I was still on that 1980s hangover, I think. So, unfortunately. I was still on that. I was still into the old, like the 1960s, 1970s music, so I wasn't buying new records. Like when I was like 10. Plus, I didn't have any money when I was fucking 10, right? I mean, when you're 10, you don't have shit, right? Yeah. When a boy is 10, he doesn't have dick all but his balls, right? That's just fucking the truth. So, Marilyn Manson released a cover today. It wasn't sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Traveled the world and 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Sweet dreams are made of these. Traveled the world and the 7 seas. Who am I to disagree? Everybody's looking for something. The Eurythmics, Dave Stewart, and Annie Lennox. So my stepdad, I swear to God, he was a big Eurythmics fan. I think he got Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart's autograph on an album or something. I fucking no shit. No shit. It's somewhere. Yeah. So Marilyn Manson continued with the 80s covers. Not the Eurythmics this time. Dave Stewart, Annie Lennox. He did Phil Collins. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. I've been waiting for this moment all of my life. Hold on. So one time I was working this job, on Clear Lake, Bay Area Boulevard. Living with my aunt and uncle when I was like 23. And I worked this crappy job at Exxon. It was terrible. I made like terrible fucking like career decisions, like epically failed ones. But I was molested by a child, by a Mexican child, by Mexicans. So that's why I fucked up my life decisions. I think if I wasn't child molested, I think I would have made a lot smarter career decisions. I think I'd be a lot wealthier now. Yeah, I'd be a lot less damaged. Even though it's funny being a man who's damaged, in a way, I think it's kind of like an interesting experience. But on the other hand, the life I could have with a really hot wife with like 5 kids, now that life is robbed of me because of what happened. So unfortunately, well, you know how to fuck up a boy's life real quick, right? Well, sexually abuse them. So I'm not going to do that. I'm saying I can see the damage. You know, the damage is pretty evident. So it's pretty, becomes evident over time. The damage. Yeah. So, no, I never had a girlfriend because of this damage. Yeah, never tasted the sweet fruits. Not like I never had sex or anything, but it's not like I never like ate a pussy or something like that. It's just, I never really developed the relationships that I needed to do as a man. I never developed the correct sexuality, is what I'm saying. But why cry over spilled milk? What's in the past is the past. It's already dead. Why even hold on to it? What are the past but just memories? And what good are memories? Memories are good for nothing. They don't help you do anything. Except just remember. Goodbye, Abrego. Gangbanger. Yeah, you busted a nut, pretended to be a family man in Maryland. But you're not a Maryland man. You're from Salvador or Colombia or Venezuela or whatever. Go to the shithole in which you came from. Yeah. Goodbye, Abrego. Goodbye. Good the fuck bye. Go the fuck back to fucking your hole. Seat cot. I see the men there in the seat cot. The 300 men have to share the same watering trough like horses or like animals. So you gotta go share the same water supply with them. You gotta share the same pisser, the same toilet, like 300 men or something. Well, that's the life you deserve, that you've earned for yourself, isn't it? All those victims of your criminal gangs, MS-13, Sinaloa cartel, all the Mexican drug cartels, all the South American, Central American drug cartels. All you've done is join with the Communist Chinese Party to take thousands of American lives each year through drug addiction. That's all you've accomplished, which is shit. All you've done is hurt children like me, as I was hurt before. All you've done is raped and tortured children. And if there is a God called Jesus Christ, he's not going to allow that. And if there is no God, you would still burn in hell anyway. Living hell on earth. Every day I look at a motherfucker who's not smart as me, not handsome as me, but he might have some more money than me. And he gets a hot bitch and he has 10 children. Every day I look at those motherfuckers all around. And every day I remember what I lost, what I could have had. Every day I remember, I regret it. So you haven't been scorned, you haven't been torn, you haven't been burned, you're not fucking hard, you're shit. You're going straight to the pit of agony. You think you've been punished, you've seen pain. You haven't seen nothing yet. I assure you that. I'll show you motherfuckers what true pain is. The pain is all around. I'll show you what true pain is. It's to lose. That's what real pain for a man is. It's been since time immemorial. To lose the fight, to lose the game, is the worst torture and suffering a man can ever endure. To lose, to fail all the same. Run from it. Run from it, hide from it. I am inevitable. The reckoning. To lose. Fail all the same. You don't know what pain is. Watch your future end and your family's future burn. To watch your people die in weakness. Yeah. What's up? Oh, would you like some? You want taquitos or?
Yes, and could you bring me just like a little bit of queso?
Yeah. You want?
On the little thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the 3 pesos are in that.
Okay. I saw that. Oh, yeah. I'll bring that earlier.
Huh?
I'll bring that earlier.
Okay.
You fed Bella and Tula, right?
Huh?
You fed Bella and Tula?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, I'll bring down the accoutrements. I'll bring down the supplies.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Time to do the dawn. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Yeah, I know the Obama motherfuckers, the Italian, the Colombians, the Colombian Americans. They're like, we all love each other. The Italians and the Colombians and the Venezuelans and the Mexicans. We're gonna have 10,000 children in the country and take over America from the white people. Yeah, I know how they think. Now, liberalism is a affliction of the rich, the bourgeoisie. Okay, so only the wealthy elites sing "Kumbaya," my lord, we are the world. Okay, that's the only people singing that. Most people are like, fuck that shit. Yes. Now recognize that the liberals are like Luigi Mangione. They come from very wealthy Italian or Colombian American families. Third generation, fourth generation. They're spoiled brats, in other words. They think they're entitled to the fruits of life. They don't have to work for it because their daddy or mommy's rich. They don't have to take responsibility for themselves because they've been born into wealth. Duh. Who do you think is causing all this trouble? Wealthy people. You think it's poor people doing this? No. Not much of it. Anyway. Who is Luigi Mangione? Wealthy as fuck, right? Yeah. Luigi Mangione could have had a nice life. Just follow in the footsteps of his wealthy Italian family. They usually always take care of their own. All right, like Jews. All he had to do was stay true to the Corleone family. He was good. He was guaranteed bitches, money, babies, power, everything. He was guaranteed the whole fucking honeypot. And what'd he do? He pissed it down the drain. What'd he do? He took a big shit on all that. Not because he's smart, because he's an idiot. Now, I didn't have a future. I had a deadbeat dad and a family that wasn't so rich. What were my options? I guess the military or the penitentiary. I mean, that was it. That's pretty much it. Or corporate America. Hangers, go kill yourself. Or, I mean, you might as well commit suicide already. But Luigi Mangione, from a wealthy family, he could have went skiing in the fucking Alps and all over Europe and fucked hot bitches and had fucking baby mamas everywhere. Fucking just wealthy as shit. Luigi Mangione, he didn't have to go to life or face the death penalty. He could have had it all. It was all in the palm of his hands. He didn't have to work for it. Fuck no. What was Luigi Mangione's greatest struggle in life? Should I go to Harvard? Or should I go to Cornell? Or should I go to Columbia? Man, this is a rough decision. So Luigi Mangione's roughest decision in his life was, should I go to Cancun? Or should I go to the Swiss Alps and go skiing? Or should I go to Tahoe? I don't know. Whoa. So the most difficult decisions in his life was, well, should I go to Hawaii, Waikiki, or should I go to Rome and Paris? I don't know. I mean, these are hard decisions for a man. The stress. Should I go to Ibiza or should I go to, I don't know, where did they go to the White Lotus? Where do I go? Man, being a wealthy young guy is fucking tough, man. It's too tough. Luigi Mangione. I think I have too much white Caucasian privilege. This is not like the brat pack. This is like the fag pack. This is like gayer than gay. This is the gayest shit known to man. The gayest virus ever. Luigi Mangione. What a fucking putz. What a fucking pussy. Yeah, I hope women want to have sex with Luigi Mangione, liberal women. And I hope he has 20 kids he can't fucking pay for and never gets to see. Never gets to go to their birthdays. Fuck. Luigi Mangione. What a hero. Carmelo Anthony. What a hero. Yeah, stabbed a dude in the heart and he never gets to live again past 17. What a fucking hero. Put that queso in there, Dom. Put it in the put it in that microwave situation. Put that queso blanco on it, Dom. Get it, Dom. Oh, my leftist murdering heroes. My favorite heroes are cowards that stab and shoot people in the fucking back and the heart. Yeah, my favorite fucking heroes. Yeah. I love that Judas Iscariot that sold out Jesus Christ to the fucking Roman Empire. What a fucking hero. Traitors and cowards. Yeah, that's my favorite type of hero. Men who don't have guts worth a shit aren't my fucking hero. Judas Iscariot, Benedict Arnold, Luigi Mangione, Carmelo Anthony, they're the same fucking breed of coward, lunatics, and evil. You want to beat up a man because you dislike him, you have a beef, then fucking fight him, say it to his fucking face instead of being a fucking goddamn coward. But no, you couldn't even do that. Look at the man you don't like in the eye and have a fist fight. No, you brought a gun and a fucking knife like a fucking pussy. What, you only choose fights that the AI told you to? What, you only choose fights what that you think you can fucking win and that makes you great? That makes you strong? No, it doesn't. It makes you a fucking pussy. It makes you a coward. You're no better than Vladimir Putin sending in robot drones to go kill millions, thousands of Ukrainians. You're no better than that. Just some coward in his fucking sheltered safe place, safe space. Your own echo chamber. You're just like every other fucking coward. Nothing remarkable at all. You're just like Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping sending millions to die and they never face any fucking consequences. I guess on their soul. But they never face any physical consequences, do they? They never get out there and fight in the trenches for what they believe, do they? Never. Does Nancy Pelosi ever get and go fight for the American people? Does Chuck Schumer ever go in the trenches and go off to Iraq or Afghanistan? Do any of these people actually go fight for what they actually believe in, go bleed? Do they feel any suffering, any pain for it? No, never. It's always us that pays the fucking price for these people's wars. It's always us that has to pay the fucking bill or pay the blood. They never get to. Barack Hussein Obama. They never pay anything. They never pay the price for shit. What do they pay for? Freedom and liberty. They pay nothing. All they do is steal and take and take and take. Vaya con Dios. Hasta luego, Garcia Abrego. Well, that would require some skill to pick up some blonde pussy, wouldn't it? Some English, some European pussy. You'd actually probably have to speak the English language, I guess. Yeah. So I guess all you can do is knock up that immigrant community, right? From Salvador and Honduras and Mexico, Venezuela, and Colombia. Right? Just find the Spanish speakers that just got their fucking green card and you're ready to go to try to become a gringo. Yeah, good idea. Well, that pussy's kind of desperate, but that pussy's picky like any pussy. They're looking for who has the cash. Yeah. There was a Colombian chick I used to work with, right? So she wasn't fucking the poor guys, the guys making minimum wage. She found the Italian guy like Mangione who had the money. Yeah. So that even the immigrants, even the green card holders, are looking for those guys with the cash, so they can. Yeah. They want that secure shit. Yeah. So if you're working at Walmart and there's like a girl comes from Colombia, Venezuela, she's like 22, kind of looks all right. Guess who she's gonna pick as her mate? The fucking Prince Harry. She's gonna go for Prince Harry and Luigi Mangione. 95%. She's gonna ignore all the other guys that don't have any fucking cash. Just the reality of it. I know the stone cold hard truth is the stone cold hard facts. I know it burns, but at least the truth is true. You know, at least you can say that. At least the truth is honest and fair, I guess, to a certain extent. At least it's right. Yeah. The truth may not be fair, but it is just, isn't it? It's at least honest. At least we can say that. Oh! What you doing, dude? Yeah, the truth may not be fair. It may not be right. It may not be moral. It may not be just. But the truth is at least honest, I guess. At least the truth is the truth, right? At least that's something that people can deal with. At least on a certain level. If I could do my life over again, I'd take that girl from Klein High School, the one I liked, and I wouldn't be timid that I liked her. I would acknowledge that I actually liked her, and she would have became my wife. My life it could have been, but it wasn't because of shit. So my life is affected by the Mexican rapist, child molester, and you know it really affects the lives of women too, because now they don't have a husband that's worth a shit. Now society descends into chaos because of this time element, because of the damage that's been done. Now what? The woman probably was attractive enough to get a husband, but it wasn't me. It wasn't the man who actually loved her. she probably got some knockoff monkey. She got a discount monkey. And she's probably dying right now because of what happened. See what damage was caused by people just because they weren't loved? It's like the original sin. It just goes on and on. Look how many lives have been damaged because of this original sin, because of this original fall from grace, this original invasion by the Mexicans, by the drug cartels, by the Latinos, by their invasion of our country. Look at what they've done to us. Look at the damage they have caused us. Look at the damage they've done to our European, English-speaking, Caucasian civilization. Look at what they've done to us. Now, I'm not going to the border to shoot up people, but I acknowledge the damage. Well, I mean, going to war with Mexico, one man with a machine gun, isn't going to do much. What, you kill some drug cartel, you kill some innocent people? So you're Patrick Crusius, you're German or European, so you go to the border and blast some people randomly at a Walmart. It doesn't really heal the pain, does it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't heal the pain of what you lost, what you could have had, right? It never replaces that because it's already done. There's nothing you could do at that point of damage. There's no repair you could do. All you could do is just watch the nightmare unfold before your eyes. All you can do is watch what you could have been die in a painful fire and flush down the fucking toilet at a time. Now all you do is stick the needle in your arm to dull the pain. Or you drink the bottle of JD just to numb the fucking pain of your existence. You're not gay, you're not straight. What are you? And who are you? What is your identity now? You're just a damaged outcast. A rebel with no cause. And all these Jesus freaks and all these Catholics and all these Christians say the suffering's for a reason. It's all for a reason. It's God's plan. Well, God is full of shit. There is no fucking plan except chaos. There is no fucking plan. Because there is no fucking God. Only a godless universe would allow these injustices to occur. So I was working at the gas station Exxon because I made poor life choices. Working at a gas station is a poor life choice. You can maybe justify working at the grocery store if you're like, I don't know, 18 to 25. You're just trying to find your way, right? Okay, so if you're like, maybe you could stretch that to 18 to 30, but basically, if you're working at the grocery store or the gas station, 18 to 25, it's a bad career choice. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that. So I'm making bad career choices because I'm dumb and young and I don't, give a fuck. Okay. So this old man, Glenn, comes in for his daily coffee. That's his routine to come into the Exxon on Bay Area Boulevard to get his coffee in Clear Lake, an affluent part of like South Houston. Right. So this guy Glenn had a few strokes or something. He's coming in. He has an old like fucking van from the 1970s. It's like all this, off-color brown and shit. It's like this old jalopy, it's like from 1978 or some shit. And it's like, it has all the weird colors and it looks like the mystery van from Scooby Doo and all that crap. And Glenn's a lonely old man and he's crippled and he's probably dying. He's had a few strokes or something. He's not thinking right. He's like, and so I'm like 23. So usually if you're young, old men want to come and talk to you. They want to be like, hey, hey, young whippersnapper, you got your life ahead of you. They like to act like daddies and granddaddies and shit like that. Uncles, your uncle or something. So even though I don't even know these old guys, they're trying to be my uncle, my dad, right? They're all trying to be my daddy and shit. So a lot of these guys are going through chemotherapy or they had strokes or they had heart attacks. So they're trying to tell me about real life and all this. Be like, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? But they're trying to tell me what life is all about and shit because they lived it, I guess. They were around in the 50s and 60s and 70s. They know what real living's about, right? Yeah, whatever. No one gives a dick, but that's what they're trying to do. So he's like, and old men like to talk about their sexual exploits and their conquests with women and their great successes and a lot of men like talking about that, but a lot of older men especially like talking about they kicked the dude's ass and they fucked the pussy and they got the trophy and they got the money and they got the power and they got the authority and a lot of old men tell me fairy tales like that, right? They're big, strong, tough men that went to Vietnam and all that shit. I went to Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm a big, tough man. They like to tell me that kind of shit. So, maybe some of them are stroke victims. They got dementia. They're telling fairy tales in their mind. Whatever. Like Herbert Walker Bush grabbing a nurse's titty. They're almost they're almost dead, so they ain't got any time. I mean, maybe somebody 14 years old, they think they have enough time to suck tits and touch tits, but you don't have that much time to touch titty and vagina. You got to get after it, boy, right? That's the truth. So, if you want pretty girls, tits and ass, you got to grab that shit fast. It'll go like, it's going off the rack like, fresh bread. Is it? Oh, we're kind of ripping fart without control here. Oh, that was a. You everybody enjoy the fart? All right. It was kind of like a Ripley one. It was like. Hope everybody enjoyed that because I did. Everybody enjoy that kind of like the fart that would. Yeah, I think everybody did enjoy that one. Huh? I think the dogs loved it. Yeah, it's all right. All right. What? No, I just want 300. Well, the best thing for the 90 degree one is what? No, that helps you get healthier. No, I'm just joking. I'm playing. Uh, Scratch my butt cheek. Love you, mama. That's me, love you too. Oh, is it getting too hot in here too? Oh, is Tula too hot? Oh, baby, here you go. Oh. Without love, moon. No. There, mama. Aw, little honey bears. I love you, Bella and Dula. Y'all lovely, Susan. So when I was 23 years old, Glenn would come into the Exxon on Bay Area Boulevard. And then he'd just dick around in his old 1970s van. And he'd just, with his stroke, and he would be in his robe, and he would just be like, he'd get his coffee and dick around. Then he wanted to have counseling time, which I didn't, I'm not a certified therapist. So, I wasn't a certified counselor. But people were, if you're in the public, people want to treat you like your counselors. And you may not want the public shit, but if you deal with the public, you're going to get their shit. So you got to absorb their shit. Doesn't mean you have to live their shit. You have to live their lives, but they're going to bring their shit, So Glenn was bringing his stroke, old man, I'm about to pass away shit to me. Even though I was like 23 years old, I didn't want to hear that shit. So I grew up in the 1980s and I always loved Phil Collins. Like the Marilyn Manson song, I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight. Hold On. Yeah. Solo work and his stuff with Genesis. I didn't really know a lot of the Peter Gabriel stuff from the 1970s because, I was born in 1980, so I didn't know about all that early prog, progressive rock, Genesis stuff. So until I got older and started listening to all the old records. The Lamb, Foxtrot, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, from Genesis to Revelation, Nursery Crime, all that stuff. What? I thought you already had some food, dude. You gotta take a dump? Alright, well, we'll go take a dump. We gotta take a shit? What's up? Alright, we gotta go take a shit? That's okay. I just gotta find my Sandies. So Glenn's like, I met a woman, and I'm like, oh, here we go. An old man met a woman. I know where this goes. I met a woman. A man 40 to 80 talking about a woman. Like, oh, fuck. Here we go. Here we go, guys. I knew it was coming. I didn't want it, but here we are. I have to deal with your psychological problems. Great. That's what I'm here for, I guess. I guess if you're a bartender or a clerk, you got to hear everybody's fucking shit because they have nobody else to tell it to. Nobody in their friends or family want to hear it. But if you work a job, you're going to hear a lot of people's bullshit. Their psychological, financial, social problems. And so being such a Phil Collins and Genesis fan, he was like, I met a woman, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh God, here we go. Just don't talk about her bush or her titties or something. Like, oh, don't talk about the vag. Don't talk about her butt crack. Just, please spare me, please. Please. I have no choice because I'm at this shitty job. I can't just fucking walk out unless I'm going to be homeless. You know what I mean? I mean, if my uncle found out that I quit the job at Exxon or quit the job at Home Depot, he would have put me on the street like almost pronto. You know what I'm saying? Like almost without a second notice. So I just have to give up society shit. I have no choice. That's what I have to do. So he goes, yeah, I met a woman, it was like, Scott, it was like, that Phil Collins song? I could feel it in the air tonight. And I was like, oh God, dude, no. If don't ruin at least one thing that's great in my life, and that's Genesis and Phil Collins and Peter Gabriel. Please. There's one thing that's actually working out in my life, it's Genesis. It's being a Genesis fan. Okay, if there's anything that's always worked out for me, it's being a Phil Collins fan. It's my last hope. It's the last thing I can hold on to. But now he's trying to even ruin my sacred thing. Yeah. Stab me, shoot me, kill everybody, but don't ever fuck with Phil Collins and Genesis, English, progressive, 1970s rock and roll. That is the red line. All right, you need a poo-poo? There are some lines that cannot be crossed, and I was like, oh, you mentioned Phil Collins. Oh, here we go. You know, I was like, oh, strap yourself in. We're in for a shitstorm because this is it. This is what's up. I met a woman the other day, you know. A woman. Oh, she was like, she was like that Phil Collins song, you know. Hold on. There was something in the air tonight. I was like, Glenn. Let me. All right, Glenn. I think you need to go take your stroke medication because now we're in a problem. Most of the time, your old man sexual fantasies are amusing, but now it's kind of getting out of control, folks. Now we're going into the haywire zone, you know? Fucking with Phil Collins. That's unacceptable. That's so unacceptable, man. So, I met this woman, and you know what? It was like there was something in the air tonight. And I was like, don't take off your robe and flash me. Don't show me that your penis is still working. I don't want to see that, Glenn. All right. Go take a boo-boo. Go take a potty and a poo-poo, too. So I heard it today, the Marilyn Manson cover. It was, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Hold on. Hold on. What did I think of the goth version of it? It's Marilyn Manson doing Phil Collins. You know, why don't he do? This is the girl I've been waiting so long. Studio. Yeah, just make all the Phil Collins songs. Just do it like. Take a look at me now. Taken to another place. I can't start. That's just something I got to face. Take a look at me now. Oh, yeah. I guess it would sound good. I don't know. It's like kind of heavy, but what about? She seems to have that invisible touch, yeah. Takes a hold and grabs right hold of your heart. Seems to have that invisible touch, yeah. She takes control and grabs right hold of your heart. Ooh. I've been waiting for so long. Oh, when she gets under your skin, you're never quite the same. Now I know. All right, just joking, guys. All right, so everybody ready for the Marilyn Manson Phil Collins covers? Seems to have the invisible touch. Oh. I was like, shit. You gotta take it down? Hey, let me go do that. Took a shit. Okay, good. Good girl. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. She knew what was up. Dropping those Hiroshimas on me. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Bellet. That was very efficient of you. Yeah. Okay. That's a good girl. Did you have to tinkly too? Okay. Oh, did I get in? Yeah. Well, Bella was growling at me, going, "Arr." She had to poo poo. Yeah. She warned me like 4 times, and I was like, "Oh, you have to poop." And then I said, "Oh, I'm going to take you." She knows to say when I have to poo poo. Bella's so smart. Well, now she's relieved because I understood her wolf language. Yeah. Bella went poo poo. Bella went poo poo. Poo poo. Dog shit smells like ass. Ooh, ooh. Smells like shit. I think it's I guess that's about $17 I won on lottery, right? Yeah. Well, the sexual financial damage of the child abuse, it got me pretty good. It fucked my life up pretty seriously from the Mexican molester. Yeah. So don't be surprised if I want to see their asses all deported back to their country of origin. I don't go to the border and start blasting people. But I will vote for the guy who's going to send the gangsters and the criminals and the child molesters and the child rapists back to their prison forever to suffer. I will be that guy, though. That's fine, because that's legal to vote. It really burns every day, doesn't it? Watching some guy with 10 kids drive by in his Mercedes and with his hot wife and laugh at me. Yeah, I guess it burns every day. It always is burned. My entire adult life, so every single day. And they always rub it in, too. They're always like, the bitch or the guy, they always come up, "Hey, guess what, Wheeler? I got 10 kids. What do you have? 0. Ha, 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 ha." They always rub it in, too, you know what I mean? Like, "Hey, look at my new Porsche." They always do that. And the motherfuckers, and you wonder why there's so much incel violence and shit. There's so much, why Andrew Tate's a thing. That's the reason why, because those fuckers that rub it in to the guys who ain't getting none. That's why. That's why people are getting blasted. The guys who ain't getting none. It's pretty simple. No sex equals violence. It's the way it's always been. Just people are just kind of waking up to smell the coffee, but that's the way it is. I don't do violence. Violence and guns aren't really my thing, or knives. Swords and knives and stuff. That's not really my bag, But, that's not really my style. You know what I mean? That's not my style. It's just not the style that I operate. That's not the code of ethics, the code of creativity that I live by. As a photographic eidetic memory savant, there are certain more morals and codes that I don't break. You know, being a savant, being a photographic memory savant, you know, there's just some codes I don't break. I don't break the law. That's the first one I don't break. That's the first rule I don't break. I don't break American or Texan law. That's it. The first law that I worship and cherish is the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Okay, so Vladimir Putin is like, I have 2,000 nuclear weapons, so I got the world by the balls. I'm just going to carve up Ukraine. And there's nothing the West or the U.S. can do about it because, I have 2,000 nuclear weapons, ICBMs, and hypersonic missiles. Wah, 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 wah. Is there anything the U.S. could do to them without going into thermonuclear World War III conflict? Is there anything we could do just to give him a hint of his future? When he's taking a golden palace, golden shit in his multi-billion-dollar mansion, in his ultra palace with the 30 bitches butt naked, the 30 butt naked Russian bitches of all shapes, flavors, and sizes. Right? He's got the green-eyed ones, he's got the blue-eyed ones, he's got the golden eyes, he's got the hazel eyes. All these beautiful, illustrious women everywhere, butt naked, swimming in his pool, and then gets on his golden throne, and it's like a toilet, and it's golden porcelain. It's like the golden shitter. And he takes a shit, and he's like, "Yeah, are we taking over Ukraine yet?" He's like, "A peace deal? Peace? What? No, not until I take more territory for Russia and recreate the old Soviet Union, the USSR." You know, the Americans and Europeans are weak. They won't challenge me. They won't hurt me. Oh, Russia is so secure, my authoritarian, communist, totalitarian regime. No one will challenge me from the inside or out. I am perfectly safe and protected with my nuclear weapons, my nuclear vessels. Nuclear vessels. Those silly, stupid Americans won't challenge me. Those silly Europeans. I'm Russia. I'm big pair strong. So tough and so strong. Vlad. Okay. So Vladimir Putin doesn't want a peace deal because he wants to carve up the Ukraine for himself, for more Russian territorial gains. Yeah. But how much is the Europe and the Americans going to tolerate? How much does Trump have a... Now, does Trump seem like a guy who gets bullied around? Now, let me ask the audience out there. Does Trump seem like a guy that gets pushed around on the playground and doesn't get a piece? I don't think so. So, does Trump seem like the guy that gives concessions and he says, you know, I'll let you have this for now, and then I'm gonna go retreat? Does Trump J.D. Vance seem like? Does he seem like? Who wants these motherfuckers loose? Look, they killed their parents. It's like Carmelo Anthony loose. Who wants these fucking psychopaths loose? Who wants this motherfucker loose? A guy who shoots a guy in the back. Who wants Carmelo Anthony loose who stabbed a dude through the fucking heart? Who wants, I mean, does society want these motherfuckers loose? It's just not happening. I mean, they could get loose theoretically. I mean, Luigi Mangioni's never seen the light of day. He's going to be sent to Supermax in Colorado, where you only have 1 hour a day of sunlight, and the rest is in your cell, 24 hours a day, every day. Can't even see a tree or a bird. Can't even see the. You're like the Boston Marathon bomber or Osama bin Laden or fucking. Osama bin Laden was just assassinated for killing 3,000 people on September 11, 2001. So, he was going to get killed on sight by Navy SEALs, obviously. But you're in there with the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. You're not seeing the light of day, dude. It's just not happening. You'll see it. You'll see the light of day for that one hour but you're still in a wall-to-wall cell that's like at least 25 feet tall or something, some outrageous height. That's 3 or 4 times what a normal human being can grow to, typically speaking, unless there's giants or the Book of Enoch or something. Okay. All right. You're just playing with the toy. Would you trust your family or your friend's life with the Menendez brothers walking free? No, I'm sorry. They killed their fucking parents. They shot them to death. They said child abuse, but there was no evidence. They weren't charged with child abuse. There's no evidence of that. So Carmelo Anthony can claim self-defense, but he needs evidence that he felt like his life was threatened. Not that he got pushed or he got hit even by a punch. He can't say that. Because in Texas, if you use deadlier force, you're charged as the perpetrator. You're not the victim. So, sorry, Carmelo, your history. Your family might get some Black Lives Matter cars and a nice mansion, maybe. Yeah. You might get some race grip money or something like that, some African sympathy money or some shit. I mean, I turn 45 next month, and I understand that without cash, I'm not getting any poontang if I get closer to the age of Tiger Woods. I'm not going to get any fresh poontang, some hot, sweet, butt-naked girls, some butt-naked, young, fertile women, unless I have some fucking cash flow. That's just the reality of man. Sorry, that's just the reality. That money might be the root of all evil, but also money is a necessary evil to survive and prosper in this world, obviously. To have the freedom of Luigi Mangione, you need to have wealth in your family. To have true freedom, you need financial freedom. That's the biggest freedom in a world controlled by money and power and control. There's a reason why 4 black men almost every day in Houston go attack an armored car and try to steal the money from the bank. Do you think that these hoods want to go rob the armored truck every day? Or is it because Jeff Bezos just made another $1 billion and they're scratching a living off nothing and they still live in the hood? So who's really the criminal here? Is it Jeff Bezos? Or is it the people jacking the armored car? Well, they were kind of forced to rob the armored car, right? Because they weren't making $1 billion every year, like Jeff Bezos was with Amazon online retailing. So these hoods, they just see their grandma not being able to pay her medical bills. They just see their house in the Fifth Ward in the George Floyd hood get worse and worse and worse, more dilapidated. And they see Jeff Bezos launching his big penis rocket to space with 5 stuck-up elite bitches, and Kate Perry stoned or whacked out of her mind at 40 having an epic midlife crisis. And they see this and they're like, that's not right. That these people live in their palaces and mansions, and my grandma can't afford her health care, and my house gets older and more ruined every year. See? So it makes a lot of sense. So every time I hear the story that the armored car got jacked and the security guard got shot, I know what that's about. It's about Bezos. It's really his fault, isn't it? Yeah. It's every crime, it's Mark Zuckerberg's fault. It's Jeff Bezos' fault. It's Bill Gates' fault. It's Barack Hussein Obama living in Martha's Vineyard. See, it's the wealthy, millionaire, billionaire, liberal elites that are the problem in this country. They don't help people. Average, low income, upper, lower income, middle class income. They don't help people. Farted. So every year they lose their pensions, they lose their funds, they lose their savings. Every year it gets worse and worse. Economic recession, the Great Recession of 2008, the stagnation of the 2010s, the plague of the 2020s, the second Great Recession of the plague. People just of modest means can't handle these things. They don't have an extra million or billion lying around to help them get through it. That's just the reality of it. And why do you think crime is so high? For obvious reasons. No, I don't. When I hear that the armored truck car is robbed in Houston again, like it is at the bank almost every day, I go, huh? I don't say, oh, those N words. I don't say that stuff anymore. I don't say, oh, those nizzers. I don't say, oh, those hood boys. I say, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, I shouldn't. I don't morally. I don't think that that's morally good or just. I'm just saying I understand. So it doesn't mean I have sympathy or empathy for those people. I don't. It just means that I understand a little bit. At least I understand, their modus operandi is like, I live in the hood. My mom can't pay for her health care. My family's dying. I live in 3rd or 5th Ward. I'm going to go rob a bank. That could go for poor white people too. Okay, hell or high water or something like that. All right. It's not, the ravages of poverty are a misery loves company. So that's an all around thing. It's not just particular to one race or one ethnicity or one class. Well, it is. Well, it is specific to one class, poor or working class. So. No, I'm trying to do this dong. This dong. Da dong dong dong. So society thinks to itself, where's our bread, dog? Where's our American dream? How come people can't afford healthcare or housing? How come they can't afford insurance? How come they can't afford travel? How come they can't afford shit? Huh, interesting society. So you wonder why your crime rates are so high. Well, is the money from Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and is the money from Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Larry Ellis or Sundar Pichai, is it coming to us? Is it coming back to? Is it flowing down their salaries? No, it's not. Is it a trickle down economic effect? I haven't seen it. All I see is devastation. All I see is a Blade Runner world where the Tyrell Corporation, the one guy in his tower, making millions, going on his yacht and with playing with the bitches, and that's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing the trickle down economics of these. I'm not seeing how these wealthy people are benefiting us as regular workers and citizens. I'm not really seeing their great contributions to society. I'm seeing their theft. I'm seeing Bill Gates' theft of society and resources. I'm not seeing what he's giving to us or the world. I'm not seeing that part. I'm seeing that your dad is bankrupt and your mom can't pay her bills. I'm seeing that part. I'm seeing that the millennials don't have any intergenerational wealth. I'm seeing that. Yeah. They don't have any inheritance. They don't have any stocks. They don't have any fucking houses. They don't have any cars. They don't have shit. We don't have shit. In other words. Get these dishes done, dog. I'm gonna watch a movie to get people's dick hard today. I'm gonna watch Top Gun. We're gonna drink some beer and watch fucking Top Gun. I'm gonna show you a movie about the man I should have been, not the man I became. I want to show a story to young men about the man you should be, not the man that the world will try to corrupt you into being. I'm going to show you a world where the devil can't even touch. Did people like my prose? You know, you had Carmelo Anthoniga and you had Mangione nigga. So what you do is you take the N and you just make it nigga. That's basically what the whole, English artistry, the creative artistry that I do. So you turn N. So if he's Biden, so if the guy's called Biden, you call him Biden nigga. Okay. So if he's Mangione, you call him Mangione nigga. Okay. If his name is Carmelo Anthony, you call him Carmelo Anthoniga. Okay, that's what you did. That's good. Get the done. I'm glad your Easter is going to be fucked up with horrible weather. Why should you celebrate with your family, with your eggs, and dance around with your hams and have a great fucking joyous time with your family and friends? Why? Because hell is coming. That's why. The hell of the weather. The storms, the floods, the tornadoes, the heartbreak is coming for everybody. So I made about $17, I think, on that one. I didn't check the cash 5. That was my main game. I did the two-step just, playfully, not really in a hardcore manner, using all functionality of all my capabilities as a photographic memory eidetic savant. I didn't unleash the full power of the human mind upon my opponents. The full power. Why does Jesus live like a pauper? Because he knows he's the Son of God. That's why. A lot of people, they laughed at Jesus Christ, right? They said, you're an outcast. You live like a poor man. You're a pauper. You're a fool. Well, he was actually pretty wise, right? He knew he was the Son of God. So, likewise, I'm not the Son of God, but I am a son of God. I am a child of God in any case. So, I still have powers granted me, and even extra powers granted me by God himself. So, as a child of God, I have unique powers that are unique to my own self. Oh. Oh. Lucky sevens? Seventh heaven. Yeah, not the full thing. I didn't get the $200,000, but I guess that's about 17. That'll do. So the Democrat Party, in the age of information, they thought they were the gods of information. Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Clinton, Joseph R. Biden, Kamala Harris. And they thought they were the only people that could wield information. CNN, ABC, Dishonesty News Network, CBS. Oh, you're going to CBS if you watch that. You will CBS, for real. Microsoft, Bill Gates of hell, NBC. And, of course, NBC itself. NDNC. So the liberal news, the global world order, wanted us to believe as citizens that there was a white supremacy problem and there were Nazis everywhere. And they all supported Trump, all these white supremacist Euro Nazis. They're everywhere. Oh man. Look at all those swastikas down there. Oh man, the brown shirts are coming. Whoa, the night of long knives. Crystal knocked, breaking of the glass against the Jews. And all along, the leftists were the ones bringing us the Arabs and the anti-Semites. All along, they were calling us Nazis when we were the most Jewish-loving people ever. So they were trying to punish us pattern recognizers. Okay, it's like having a boss and he's like, well, you will be happy at $4 an hour. Or you have Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum. You will own nothing and be happy. Go back to sleep. Take your blue pills, right? Go back to sleep, slave. We don't want to hear this. Barack Hussein Obama and the liberal global world order. Go back to sleep, slave. Take your blue pills. Go back to sleep. So they were trying to punish us for recognizing patterns like, well, here's a pattern for you. Why was the worldwide plague of the Wuhan Laboratories Virology Institute, why was that plague by Dr. Anthony Fauci and the World Health Organization? Why was that released in Wuhan Virology Institute? Why was that released during Trump's re-election in 2019, in November 2019, a year before the re-election? Anybody take a wild guess why it was released then? Anybody have any ideas? Come on. Come on, people. We still live in the United States of America, right? With the First Amendment and the freedom of speech. So I would like to ask the audience, why do you think that the worldwide plague was released before Trump's re-election in 2020? Anybody have any clues? Anybody have any ideas? Anybody have an idea why Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer might have released this virus before Trump's re-election? Anybody have any clues? Why Bill Gates would have released this right before? Why Barack Hussein Obama would have released this right before the re-election of a conservative, Republican, populist, nationalist candidate? I don't know, it's a little suspicious, isn't it? The election of 2020. It's more than a little suspicious, actually, if you look back on it. Now, Trump has to clean up the Biden-Harris and the Barack Hussein Obama mess that he left our country in, so he has little time to investigate the conspiracy of the stolen election of 2020, how one of the most corrupt politicians in history of America became elected president. He has little time for his Director of National Intelligence and CIA and Intelligence Services, FBI, Kash Patel, to investigate the crimes of the Biden crime family and their Obama and Clinton affiliates. But, Julian Assange already exposed the crimes of the Clintons. That's part of the reason why she wasn't elected in 2016, obviously, because she was crooked Hillary. Everybody knew that since the Whitewater scandal days in Arkansas. But I think through time that eventually government will expose, and intelligentsia services will expose the deep crimes and corruption against the American people perpetrated by the Biden-Harris administration and by the Democrat Party in general. So, now they're going to try to use my dick against me, okay? Or they're going to try to use every man's penis against us. So everybody likes Paige Spiranak, the blonde with the big tits. That's the golf chick, right? Everybody has on her X account. Okay. Because you want to look at her titties, you want to look at her ass, you want to look at her pose in the TikTok or whatever. Okay. First time they used fear against us. They used fear often against us, the Democrat Party. They use chaos and fear and anxiety against us to try to trap us with fear. But if you're fearless, they have a rougher time. They only scare people with stuff to lose. But if you got little to lose, they can't scare people as much. And I farted. So, if you've been working hard your whole life, you got your 401k, you got your nest egg, you got your 10 kids, you got your mansion, You got your beautiful wife, you got your beautiful house, like the talking, letting the days go by. You know, that song by the Talking Heads. Once in a lifetime, right? So if they got you, if you're like once in a lifetime and you have the beautiful house and the beautiful wife and the beautiful kids and the beautiful American dream, then you're a lot scared to lose it. So the Democrat kind of not just appealed to the poor, by claiming that they're not the side of the rich, even though they take Mark Zuckerberg and elite billionaire money all the time. They're full of shit. But the DNC tries to scare people, try to say that Republicans are going to take away your Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, which they are not. They know that would be a disaster for the Republican Party if they took away people's fucking retirement money. So they're not doing that. Obviously, they're not touching that with a 10-foot fucking pole. I assure you. All right. So Bernie Sanders and AOC is walking around. First they hit you with fear. Now they're going to try something new. Kamala Harris wasn't that attractive. She was like 60. So she already hit her wall where she could suck wiener and get ahead in politics. So there's only so many balls you can blow before 60. And then after that, it's kind of over for women because they don't offer any value to men because they can't have children anymore. And they start to get saggy. They start to get, wrinkles and they start to get old. They start to get decrepit and all that. So they start to get unattractive to men, in other words. Even the most attractive women try to fight it off, but it's still, nature happens. So Kamala Harris was trying to defy that wall, but you could see her sagging necklines and you saw that she was already over the hill. She already hit that wall a long time ago. And farted. Okay, and we farted as well. Now they're trying AOC, actually Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's a Cortez, which means that's like Hernando Cortez, she's actually related to the conquistadors that raped and pillaged and destroyed Mesoamerican societies in Central and South America. So we got a conquista. We got a conquistador. We have somebody who's actually Cortez, like Hernando Cortez, which brought death and destruction upon the Native American tribes in the Incas and the Mayans and the Aztecs. Killed them all through disease, war, pillaging, taking all their gold, and destroyed them all and subjugated all those peoples. Probably raped all the attractive women. Obviously, if you're conquering and pillaging a place, you want to get the finest bush, obviously. So you want to get the top tit, in other words. You want to get the finest booty you can. So this former conquistador, Cortez, wants to be the president of the United States in 2028. Imagine that, a conquistador being the president of the United States. The first female president, right? She's going to say it's the oligarchy, it's Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. And she's going to do all those leftist, socialist, anti-capitalist points, right? For the guy in the hood that I was talking about earlier that's struggling and his mom can't pay for the health care and all that stuff. So AOC is going to play to that socialist, communist crowd that will be easily swayed by these words and will not respect private property or income earnings. She just wants to take it and redistribute it to the downtrodden or the people that are addicts or mentally ill or whatever, leftist, communist, socialist, etc. So she has no respect for what was fought for and bled for and for what people have worked their whole lives for. No, she has no respect for that because she's hot and she's like almost 30 or over 30, and she has a nice booty. She has sweet Latina booty, and she's just going to try to ride that booty out. So she's going to be one of the first women candidates that could have been a stripper and a former waitress or bartender. She's going to try to make it to the White House. And how many people are going to support her? You know, I hate to say there's a lot of white simps out there, and they're going to be looking at that sweet Latina booty, imagining that they were the white guy that gets to jam their purple into that conquistador booty hole and into that vagina. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of simps that are going to vote for AOC just because they want to fuck her. That's it. Chumps and simps. Yeah. If AOC said, let's have sex, I would probably say, okay. All right. It wouldn't be a long conversation. It'd be like, all right, when are we fucking? You know, it wouldn't be a long conversation at all. It would be like, all right, take off your clothes. I want to see the presents underneath that gift bag. You know, I want to see the Christmas. I want to see what Santa Claus brought me. I want to see what Santa Claus and Big Baby Jesus brought me. And ho, 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 and Merry Christmas. And take off those clothes. Relieve yourself from the stress of politics and management and Congress and the federal government and blah, blah, blah. Washington, D.C. and the D.C. swamp. Relieve yourself, girl. You need some tender love and care. Let daddy help you. I know you had a stressful day. The socio-economic, political, blah, blah. You know, girl, you just need some tender love and care. You know, you just need a white, vanilla, purple penis to help you. You know, that's what she needs. She just needs a high hard-on handy and some of her own little conquistadoras running around. All she needs is her children, the little baby conquistadors that raided the Aztec gold and raided the South American and Central American gold and the Mexican gold and the Mayan village, the Mayan temple, and looted all their stuff and took all their shit. The Spanish conquistadors, like the Cortez the Killer. It's called Cortez the Killer is the Neil Young song. You know that. You know the song. And AOC is going to say, how dare you call me a Cortez Conquistador? Well, that's your name. It's your family name. Blood is on your heritage. Blood is on your family heritage. What do you think? That people weren't going to do their research? They were going to read history? Welcome, if you joined the Democrat Party, welcome to the fucking circus, because that's what it is. It's a fucking circus clown show. The oligarchy, we must stop these billionaires. We must redistribute the wealth of the Jews. Okay, whatever. I'm 85 years old. I can barely change my fucking shit. That resonates with everybody. Everybody needs their Depends at least twice a day so they can get their shit right. Everybody needs to go back to using donkeys to carry their cartload. Stuff that really resonates with 2020, 21st century society, obviously. Well, it's either modern medical technology or sucking Satan's wiener or sucking America's taxpayer base dry, which are keeping these people millionaires, keeping them alive this long. You know, unnaturally long life, like George Soros. They must be, kissing Satan's rear end every night or praying to the Dark Lord every single night. That grants them unusually long life. The path to the dark. The dark side of the Force leads to many abilities that some would consider unnatural. The dark side of the Force leads to many abilities that some would consider unnatural. So, is there a lot of white simps that want to stick their juicy, purple, vanilla penises into the Ocasio-Cortez, into the orifice of the vagina, into the divine fulcrum? But she already has a white simp boyfriend. She doesn't need a whole society of white simp boyfriends. She already has one. She already has Mr. Mom at home. She already has that locked up. So she pretends she's a strong, independent woman going off to Congress, and then he, does the dishes and cooks dinner and goes shopping, and he basically plays the woman role, basically. In other words, I guess he has a job because he has to. He's got to be. He can't just be like doing the vacuuming. Society, I guess, would laugh at him or something. If he was just raising they don't have kids because she's a childless cat lady. Obviously, she's not planning on having children. You're not planning on having little conquistadors? Little conquistadors running around? Little Hernando Cortezes? Oh. Well, I guess the man has deciding of the name in the society, right? So her name will be, their kids will be like, Dora, be like Dora Johnson or something. And their daughter, their son will be like Javier Miller or something silly like that, right? It'll be like they'll have cross-cultural names, unless she's like, no, we're gonna call him Cortez. We're gonna take away the no, sorry Johnson, sorry Miller, or whoever her boyfriend or her husband is. She's gonna be like, no, we're gonna have to call him Cortez after my great pillaging grandfather that killed all the indigenous people of the Americas. Woo! I want to celebrate their life of conquest and pillaging and extermination of entire genocides of entire races of Native Americans. Woo! Don't we want to celebrate that? Obviously. Abrego. Oh no, I was never in the gang. No, I was escaping the gang violence from Salvador. Yeah, it was kind of weird when I was working with some Hispanics at this cafe at HEB. I remember one guy came by and he noticed that somebody was from Salvador that I was working with. And it was Hector, right? That was my boss, right? He was from El Salvador, San Salvador. And Hector, so the guy went, Salvador! And he was like really proud of it too. He was like, Salvador! And yeah, I never heard like Salvadorian pride before. But, so this guy came he recognized that the dude was from Salvador. He recognized his accent or something. So he knew where he was from. He just, he was from the same place, I guess. The same town, the same city, whatever. He just knew his people, right? Just automatically, or he assumed. And he just went, Salvador! And he yelled at Hector. And then Hector was like, yeah, from there. He didn't seem proud of his Salvadorian heritage. I think he was trying to escape that. So he was like kind of embarrassed when he would even tell the Honduran people, he would even tell the Mexican people to stop speaking Spanish. He was so ashamed. He'd say, speak English. We're in America now. Stop fucking speaking Spanish. I was kind of shocked because I was like, I didn't really expect that you would say, well, some people are ashamed of their Hispanic heritage or their foreign heritage. So that's, I guess so. Like, well, you had the friend that had, he was half English, half Argentine. And they tried to erase all his. He was basically like Estevez, and he was trying to be Sheen, like Martin Estevez was Martin Sheen. But that was to get jobs back in a predominantly English and white America back, way back in the 1950s, 1960s. That was mostly white and Caucasian and English speaking and European. And so he changed his name from Estevez to Sheen to blend in. He wasn't. I don't think he was actually ashamed that he was Hispanic, but that he was that he was of Spanish heritage. So some people are ashamed of it and they want to be white. Okay, and some people think they want to be white because it carries certain privileges. But it really doesn't. If you're not already born into wealth, then being white is no real advantage. I guess in a particular regard, but it's really, if you don't have money, if you don't have jack shit to begin with anyway, it's still going to be a struggle anyways. So if you're not born with a silver spoon like Luigi Mangione, you're pretty much screwed. That's just, I'm sorry. I mean, you could work your ass off. You could go all the way to Harvard. You can go all the way to the Pentagon. You can go all the way in the CIA. You can go all the way. You could actually go all the way from nothing, maybe. But even these people need a starting point. Even these people need college funds to get to where they're going. So even they had to have an inheritance or intergenerational wealth. It's just, they can't, you can't make a fortune being a slave or a peasant. It's just impossible. If you think you're going to make a fortune at Walmart, for the minimum wage in Texas is $7.25 an hour. If you think you're going anywhere with that, you're not. Nobody's going anywhere with that. You can't get rich off being a slave of somebody else. It's just the way it is. So what are your options in this life? You can go in the military if you're broke. You can go to higher education. You could work your ass off to get to Harvard or get to Ivy League education. Cornell, Yale, Columbia, Rice, University of Texas, whatever. But, it's so the game is in tech, the game is in higher education, the real game is in the government. So those are the only options. I guess there's other options. I guess some people want to be like social media influencers, but not everybody's going to be fucking PewDiePie and fucking Mr. Beast. Not everybody has that kind of charisma. Not everybody has that kind of like mindset. Not everybody has that drive, that business plan. So not everybody's going to make it in like YouTube or social media space either. So it's like, you're left with just real world options. And sometimes those options are not pretty and they're ugly. So got Dim sits down with Abrego Garcia in El Salvador. Why? This guy's like a gang member though. Lego my Abrego. What, we did 2 hours now. Yeah, we did the dishes. Filled up some water from the dogs. My one dog seems kind of upset though, don't? I took her poo-poo. I took Bella to go poo-poo because she kept coming up to me during the video and going, "Arr, arr." And then finally, after the fourth growl, I said, "Oh, you need to shit." Huh. It's hard to decipher that in the human language. Maybe they'll make an AI model that translates the dog growls. But for now, it just sounds like, doesn't sound like anything. So Now it just sounds like. I guess that's like whining. You know, that means, hey, I need to take a shit. Or she's holding her shit because she's afraid that if she takes a shit, that we're gonna bust her ass. But really, like if she takes a shit, we're not gonna bust her ass because she's already like a 15. The life expectancy of a Shih Tzu from ancient China is only like 16 years. So we're not gonna be busting her ass when she's an old dog, you know, for over shitting and stuff like that. So no, she's just worried, you know, about her training, her potty training. Like, oh, if I poop in the house, they're gonna fucking, you know, rip my ass on some newspaper or something like that. Rip my ass. They're gonna bust my butt, my butthole. And no, we're not gonna do that. So why is Richard? Oh, I thought that was Richard Dawkins, the atheist. It's this guy Hollis. Ain't no holler back, girl. Ain't no Hollis back, girl. Ain't no Hollis back, boy. Oh wow. Abrego Garcia. Abrego Lego my Abrego. We don't have any Eggo waffles right now. I know y'all are sad, but hey, we don't have any waffles. I would like some waffles though. Can y'all bring some? Order me up on GoChat or whatever. I have this new app called my Wiener. It's called my Nutsack. Yeah, it's a popular one. Is that girl that Dr. Oz's wife has some nice tits, huh? Look at those jajajas right there. Jajaja. I mean, for a MILF, that's pretty good, dude. Well, who's this other one? Is this another MILF? Look at this MILFtopia over here. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, bitches everywhere, dude. You should have been in that word, dude. There've been hoes all over the place. What the fuck? You should have got into that game, dude. Yeah. There'd be like hoes. There'd be like hoes. There'd be more hoes than Astros. There'd be more hoes than assholes. And that plays down. That would have been like Hotopia. Hotopia. Everybody ready for Hotopia? Yeah. Hotopia, bruh. Bizon. Just sunshine girls in their flower dresses. Pretty girls with the sunshine faces. Where you going, I don't care. Ah. All the pretty girls in their sunshine dresses with all the pretty flowers. All in a row. Their pageantry. Aw. Bella, you want to be with Tula now? You're such a love bloom. I love you very much. Oh, Tula. Bella loves you. Oh, I love you too. It's okay, Bella. Oh, Tuli. Do you need fresh water? Let me see if the gay guys land. Is there an all? The gay man's like, I want to see the. He's like, I got my new rainbow thong this year. Would you like to see my 60-year-old butt cheeks? Okay. Boom. I love you, honey bear. Smoochie? You have enough Wawa? Aw. What about a smoochie? Okay. Oh, here's your baby. Sorry. Sorry, Tula. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get you fresh Wawa then. It's okay. I'm just giving you some freshie. Yeah. I have to clean your bowl stuff. Yeah. So y'all can have freshie goodies. I have freshie in the filtered water over here. I got magic for you. There's your fresh Wawa, baby. There you go, Julie. Oh, it's like 90 degrees outside? Oh, yeah, yeah. Some like it hot, hot, hot.